Next VCR. This time we got what I think is the last one that I own in the G series. It's the National NV-G500. And I got a service manual for it, but it's interesting because this seems to be a photocopy, but it's done very high quality because they've got all of the fold out bits all correct, which must be a lot of work to do all that. I suppose it's a professionally done copy. Not really sure how that works, but it's all properly double-sided. It just feels like normal paper and it's kind of poor quality. So there you go. I guess someone was in business copying service manuals. So this model is a bit different to the other ones we've seen from the G series because it's a multi-system. This one's VHS PAL, SECAM and NTSC. If you look at the features, slim design front loading system, multifunction display, super advanced, super still advanced and double super fine slow playback. Great, because it's got 4 heads. Up to 32 channels can be received, infrared remote controller, lap time counter, LCD digital scanner. I still can't find the remotes, but I have found a digital scanner and it's in its original packet, but weirdly it opens from the side, not from this. I don't know if that's what someone did to it to make it easier to get out. It's a barcode reader. And this is the sheet of barcodes to scan to make it easy to program the VCR. Let's look at this. Then we'll get at the actual VCR. So it says we need to find some batteries. It takes, I think, 4 AAA batteries. Yeah, got these special ones that you charge by USB plugs. Makes it a lot easier. Go. So it says, oh yeah, look at this. We've got the official cleaning brush for the digital scanner. Little thing that you shove in there and clean it out. Put it in and turn it around. Confirm the lamp of the barcode reading section is lit. Oh, it was. I guess it goes to sleep. Yeah, it's lit. Now read the barcodes. Okay, and then transmit it to the VCR. Your channel, date, start time, end time. Okay. So on channel 2, the date is going to be the 7th, I guess. Oh yeah, and you can do every day. Can you override it? Oh yeah, look, it's putting the date in there, and you just choose the start time. Oh, can the earliest you go be 5 in the morning? Is that what that means? To 23 at night? Oh, there's the start. Okay. So we want it to be at 14 o'clock. And finish at 17:30. Oh, you're not allowed to have it that long. Or does that mean it's ready to go? Maybe. Oh, it says right there, look. The PPPPP sound indicates that the barcode scanning is complete. And if you do more than one, the last reading will be effective. So, yeah, we've programmed in... Oh, it's turned off. Will it remember it? Nope. You've got to do it all over again. Once we get the machine up and running, then perhaps we'll try sending it some commands. So in the search for the remotes, I did find this, which I think's for NVFS80 maybe. And this one's got the barcode scanner thing built into it. And this will probably work on, again, it needs different batteries. Probably work on this because typically all the national Panasonic ones use the same protocol. Yeah, look at that, the scanner's lit up. Let's see if we can program with this one. channel 8, date, every day, every week on Tuesday. Turning on at 15:30, turning off at 16 o'clock. Oh, you can put minutes in, okay. There you go, 12:42. And then turning off at 16:30. PPPPP. Okay, so it's ready to go. And then you click transmit, and it will send a bunch of stuff to the VCR. Okay, and then I just scan it off and it stops doing that. There you go. LCD digital scanner. We finally got there because I found something, dug them out. Time search. Enter the desired time and it will search. Picture sharpness, auto voltage selector. So again, this one's got a switch mode power supply and it can switch between 110 and 240 volts. 1 month calendar timer. Oh, look at that. The VTR is programmed with the calendar up to the end of 2002. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're a bit beyond that now. So it knows exactly what day of the week is on any given date. Auto operation, super one-touch timer recording function, high quality picture system, 8 hours playback. So it's got long play, or super long play for NTSC. It's got recording and playback possible with PAL, SECAM, MCAM, NTSC 3.58 MHz or NTSC 4.43 MHz. And it's designed for recording and playback of VHS recordings with PAL, SECAM, MCAM, NTSC, the other NTSC, only dubbing. Only dubbing? Like, so I guess it doesn't record a pure NTSC 4.43 MHz signal. It probably can only come from another VCR that's doing the same kind of thing. Then separately it says it has NTSC playback function. Pre-recorded NTSC system tapes and tapes recorded with the NTSC system broadcast can be played back on any PAL system television set. So I guess this is a primarily PAL VCR and it's got NTSC capabilities. It's got auto tracking. Less lines than NTSC, so it's not going to fool the frame. So the tuner looks like it can work over different PAL or SECAM systems and you choose it with a switch. Yeah, that's the official remote. Got some of those somewhere. I don't know where they are. And yeah, there's the scanner thing that we just looked at. Goes through the usual stuff. So there's a proper G mechanism in it. Adjustments, schematics, then PCB layouts, mechanical exploded views and parts lists. Great, let's look at the actual thing. This one has an interesting front panel. It's got a flap that covers up where you put the tape in and a button here to open that, which unfortunately something went wrong with it. Just sitting in storage one day this flap was just down and it wouldn't latch up anymore, and I'd put some tape on there to hold it shut. So we've got the VTR power standby switch, no eject, but there's a tape in indicator there. To peel this tape off so we can get into this door. Weird, the tape was peeling itself off before, now the same tape doesn't want to come off. So a nice soft opening door that does not stay up. Let's see what's gone on there. There's the eject button and there. Then we've got usual tape transport, but we've got slow motion here on the thing. The tuning controls, clock counter, search lock, channel selection, timer recording, selection or programming, and then in the front edge there's tracking buttons, picture sharpness, edit mode, the record speed, timer recording, enable, and then over here we've got the system selection, which can be auto and then through all the different things. And then there's also NTSC playback on PAL TV as an option. You put it auto, and it's got a real fancy national badge there. Not the usual type, but the special ones. So this must be a higher end model. And you see there's a gold strip there, and it also has little feet, so very fancy. On the back we got the RF in and out, got the audio and video in and out, and RCA terminals, vertical lock adjustment for different TV systems. Then there's the TV system selection for the TV tuner, test signal on and off to help you tune in the TV, and AC input connector. Let's take it apart, have a look at what's going on inside, try it out, and then maybe take it apart some more. I don't know if I've ever done work on this. It did work, and I remember I did lend it to someone who wanted to play back a bunch of NTSC tapes on a PAL TV, and it successfully did that. It was quite a while ago, probably like, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe more. Look at that. It looks very similar to the one we were looking at before, doesn't it? Also, there's some really crusty business going on there. What is that supposed to mean? It looks similar to the one before. I don't know, the G25 maybe? No? Yes? Maybe. Yeah, because it's got that sideways power supply. Or was that a different model? I don't know. Head still seems okay. Nice G mechanism, really clean inside here, like it's barely been used. Extra boards, probably to do with extra capabilities of the TV tuner. Yeah, something's gone bad there. Oh, and there. Capacitors are leaking in this. That's unfortunate. Maybe it's not going to work. Let's plug in the power and see what happens. Then we'll decide what to do. Okay, powered on. Power's on, and the clock says 1988. And they envisaged it functioning up to 2002? Yeah. Should we just go right into seeing if this thing will work? Okay, let's hook up a video output connection. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's try this thing. I guess we can use the remote. Let's try the remote. Nope. Guess it's different then. That's weird. Thought it would work. Guess it doesn't work. Alright. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, look at that. Perfect working condition. You can see here that the power light has come on even though we've got the auto selected. Whoa. Push other buttons. You can hear the speed of the head changes. Just try all of the things. Oh, that's good. That's interesting given how crusty this is. So some capacitors on there are really having a bad time. We'll check the slow motion. Seems to work okay. Pretty clean picture. Bit jerky. That could probably be addressed. Great, is that it? Are we done here? No, we want to take this thing apart and have a look inside. Yeah, so I guess we'll start taking all these red screws out. We get this board opened up, and then I'll see why does this flap on the front not behave properly. Ah, we also want to play back an NTSC tape to see what that's like. And yeah, that's the screw, the equivalent of the screw I forgot to undo last time. It didn't have a red, it wasn't red, or it had faded, and I ended up snapping the board off. I wonder if this is a special type of VCR meant for people who travel or something. So normal people don't really want a VCR that can do all those different color systems, right? Like, why would you need that? Let's have a look at undoing the head amp screws. Probably has never been undone. Still in perfect condition. That one wasn't all that tight. And again, something you need to watch for in these machines. This is what we got caught on last time. That cable plugs into the mechanism with a really dodgy ribbon cable thing that doesn't actually have a connector, it's just bare wires poking into that white connector thing. But even worse than that is that there's an unused pin on the right hand side there. So if you take that off, well, it just falls off, as we discovered last time. Oh, it was the G40, wasn't it? Yeah, this is pretty similar to the G40. So if you pull that cable out, you've got to be sure that you leave the unused pin on the right hand side of the connector as seen there. Otherwise it's not going to work properly. Well, it actually doesn't work at all if you have that not connected correctly. So watch out. Now this one has, the whole bottom is a panel, not just a little window like we've become accustomed to on the other units from the G series. So let's get that off. I think it's got a lot more circuit boards in it because look, we can see one right there. I guess that's the reason why they're going for a metal bottom panel, so that the circuit boards get more space in there. It's not just a plastic frame thing around them. Maybe it's to help with servicing. Notice also this is the National brand one, not a Panasonic. Oh, look at that, some genuine bodges on there. Good G mechanism, all working nicely, no belts to slip since it uses a timing belt type toothed belt there. And I think for taking the panel off, somehow this door thing needs, oops, oh, I turned that off. There you go, that's what the unthreading looks like when from below. Before we go with taking this apart more, let's just try playing an NTSC tape. Since I got one out, especially to try here. In anticipation, we've got Shaman King Volume 16 from the good old days. Japan rental cassette, I think. Well, it's going to play automatically because the erase prevention tab has been removed. I've got to put it back onto auto. Ah, the capture is probably unhappy with that because it might be set to PAL because that's what it's normally used with. Let's see. It seems to have chosen NTSC M. I guess it's automatic? I don't know, it doesn't really like the signal. You can see that on my monitor here, the picture is fine and it's detected it as NTSC. So it's all good. And on here, let's lit up the NTSC 3.58 control. So let's try putting it onto NTSC Playback PAL TV. See what happens. It's gone black and white on there. I think it's because it's still seeing it as NTSC. I wonder if we pull the connector out, put it back in, will it re-establish that? Nope. Guess it's not designed for that kind of PAL, kind of NTSC signal. And the other capture thing is still ruined. I don't know what happened to that. Maybe I can choose a different device and then choose it again. Anyway, we've proven it works. Works in at least PAL and NTSC mode, so that's quite exciting. Let's have a further investigation inside it. Oh, maybe the audio won't work because that looks like the audio section right there. There's the names of the trim pots, bias adjust, and playback level. Sound very audio-like to me. YouTube might get grumpy about that video we just played. Did last time I played one of those, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm gonna turn off the power and dig deep into this thing, see what it's like. I don't know how the front panel comes off. Presumably the top part of it will come off and leave that door thing alone. And then we can work out how to get the door thing off. I don't think I've taken this one apart before, but you never know. Good buttons for selecting the TV system. Alps brand. I noticed in the manual somewhere it said don't push more than one at the same time. Guess it's not good to have it running multiple systems. There's extra wires coming there. Yeah, and usually this front panel is completely disconnected from the rest. It's all done by just cables and doesn't have those plastic clip things which tie the front panel onto the other thing. Tie the front panel onto the main board. Now, why doesn't this open? Stay? It's just a little latch. There's nothing in there. It just pushes. Oh, I think a bit of plastic has moved in time. It's just this little white thing here. You see it moves in there. So if I pull that white thing forward, it stops the flap from opening. And if I let go, it opens. So it's just a little thing which rides on a bump that, like that bump there. So maybe that bit of plastic has bent slightly from old age and the weight of this door pulling on it. So that's probably not easy to fix then, is it? There are red screws. Let's undo those. Ah, there's another thing we have to undo, isn't there? The other piece at the bottom here, bottom panel thing, which also needs to unclip. Oh no. No, that's all fallen apart. There's the door. There's that white thing. And here's this thing. Okay, that goes like that. And then there's a spring. Oh, there's that. Oh, okay, that's why it doesn't work. There is. That used to have something on it that retained the spring. That's what's going on here. I think. Got it run the wrong way. Feel like that's what's going on because that looks like that retains a spring. Oh yeah, under there like that. So that means, yeah, so that's why when I pulled that thing forward, it would hold the door shut. It's because it's lost its little spring that used to do that for it. Or because a little bit of plastic got brittle. This is a nice heavy aluminum thing, an extruded part, like printed flat flex PCB thing. I suppose that little bit of stuff would have fallen out somewhere. Well, there's no way we're going to be able to glue it back on because it's under too much strain. Okay, so the front panel boards all come loose. That wire is... There's really dodgy connectors there. And then there's a cable which is going under a hook. Now, we're going to have to undo some stuff from the back. There's a ground wire to undo there. Okay, this should be ready to lift out now. But we have to be very careful about these cables because that's all going to pull out and then it's going to rip that one out of the mechanism again. And that's going to need to come out as well. Look at that. Who knows? Oh, it didn't pull any of that out. This is tied in better. There's heaps of good stuff going on in here. Oh, and you don't even have to take the front panel off to lift it up. Look at that, that's great. Oh, maybe they've done that because it's hard work getting this thing on and off. So they've arranged the wiring here so that this can just stay in place. Front panel board can just stay in place and the main board can open up. So much better for servicing. And it's got a little clip thing there so that it will stay in place, lift it up like this, and that board there must be designed to come out with it. It just sits up there and everything can run like this. And you can do the debugging. This can fold down. Oh, and it latches into position. That's pretty nice. Wow, look at that big guy. Only a 76 pin dip. Super wide. It's more of those horrible ribbon cables. Double-sided copper on the board. But it's not through-hole plated still. It's relying on links to join things from the other side. And then there's additional circuits down here. It says it's a SECAM. A SECAM killer? And the stuff over here looks like additional TV tuner stuff. Where that is the TV tuner stuff. That there is SECAM. Is everything SECAM related? Does SECAM need a lot of stuff to decode it? Perhaps. So that board has got red screws around it. It's got interesting little plate things holding it in. Brackets. I don't think it's designed to hinge out. The clips used to hold it down look like hinges. And it's the one with the good edge. The good has bodges on it. And this hybrid module. Some Mitsubishi IC on that. Components under it. Oh, I think that SECAM killer is the name of that adjustment there. It's got playback equalize, record, playback bell, record equalize. Alright, we'll take a closer up look at these parts. Again, there's another IC behind the VFD. That seems to be common practice. All the stuff that drives the VFD. So we've got front panel boards. There's just some controls, no actual components on there. The other front panel board with the display on it, infrared remote receiver, the system select buttons, and then that's got a whole bunch of parts, which you can see, big microcontroller under the display, and some other bits and pieces over here. Then in the bottom, that board we just looked at. Then the TV tuner stuff over here. There's more subboards. Got a base board, backboard, subboard, probably arranged in some way that can lift out. Red screws by it. And then on the main board, we got this subboard here, which unclips, folds down. It's got that huge, probably CPU on it. It's got a subboard for its oscillator. And it's all connected by those horrible, difficult to put back wire things, so be careful with that. Then, yeah, those leaky caps, these dodgy ones here, those purpley coloured ones. We've seen that brand or that colour capacitors having problems in other VCRs, so yeah, maybe they were not the best. And then we've got an array of boards at the back here doing other things, and then that one that sits next to the mechanism with more stuff on it. It's very well described. Well, the service manual will tell you all about it if you want to know. And a very clean mechanism. Perhaps it's low hours. Maybe this was purchased because someone wanted to play some different tapes, some NTSC tapes, and then didn't end up using it for anything after that. It's possible. It served its purpose and then just got left to rot away. And then I guess they were throwing it out and I got hold of it. I wonder how that goes back. Thought it just clipped in. So maybe the plastic's gone quite brittle on this. There's putting up a bit of a fight to get those thingies back in. Thingies. Some special shorter screws there. We've got these longer ones for the front panel. That guy folds up, clips back into place. And we've got the 4 screws that hold this bottom board in. They hold in so well. This JIS screwdriver, it's just perfect. You can hold it pointing down. Look at that, that just don't come out. That's crazy. It's almost vertical and still holds into the screw. I don't think it's, though it is magnetic, slightly magnetic, but yeah, it's such a perfect fit into the screw heads. That's amazing. I think it fits better than my old one that wore out. Well, of course it does now because it's worn out, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so release the little latch thing in the back. Oh, hang on a minute. Missed something out. This screw in this corner is supposed to also hold down that little plastic clip thing. There we go, that's better. Now release that. This will fold down. Ground wire will go back in theory. Yes, that ground wire goes back in. This here slides into a slot. And yeah, pretty good. Okay, now we're going to get this front panel business back in. There's some other part of it that got lost. So that goes in, clips in place. Then this all this stuff with the spring that's broken goes in somehow, like that, I guess. I guess we're going to take the spring off because it's not going to work again, is it? Can't get it lined up anymore. Okay, that's on. Why is that so high up? I think we're supposed to screw those screws down before we put the rest of the bits in, just to hold it all nicely. Oh yeah, that clipped it in better. It's a shame the spring is broken. Well, the clip part for the spring is broken. Okay, so that's sorted out. Top of the front part can go back. All good. Got to put all the screws in loosely first, then tighten them up the rest of the way. Otherwise, there's going to be problems because it could be slightly misaligned. Alright, there we go. We'll just go to final test just to make sure we haven't ruined it anymore. Any further? Got a new test tape since we've kind of got to the end of the other one. Let's give that a go. Break it in. Look at that, works again. That unruined itself. Maybe it, wow, I guess it likes playing PAL stuff, not NTSC kind of converted stuff. I guess this VCR is not proper pure NTSC, so it has a hard time with that. But there you go. That's a internal and external overview, teardown, have a look, have a go at a National NV-G500 VCR, multi-system VCR. Very exciting. Stay tuned for next time. We'll take a look at another VCR, probably, although it might be delayed by a week or so because of changing schedule, other things that are happening. And so I'll see what happens. Well, you'll see what happens because there will either not be a video or there will be a video, or it will be at a different time and date. But it's not going to end. Still plenty of VCRs and heaps of other random stuff that we need to have a look at. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again for another VCR or other piece of interesting stuff.